Kim, if you could do roll call and read the public notice.
Okay. Commissioner Sukla?
Here.
Commissioner Tell?
Present.
Commissioner Lambert?
Here.
Administrator Bruner? Here. Attorney Baxter?
Here.
And County Clerk and Recorder Kim Purcell. Notice is hereby given that the Montezuma County Board of County Commissioners will hold a public hearing for the purpose of reviewing and determining proposed amendments to the Heaven Sent Acre Subdivision and an AR3-9 and two separate AR10-34 rezoning requests on property owned by Steve and Deborah Anderson located at TBD Road Y, consisting of 61.66 acres plus or minus. Allen and Shirley Story, located at 15104 Road Y, consisting of 9.1 acres plus or minus. And Elliot and Wendy Anderson, located at 15308 Road Y, consisting of 3.21 acres plus or minus. Yellow Jacket, Colorado, situated south of Road Y, east of Road 15, south 30, Township 38 North, Range 17W, NMPM. The hearing will be held Monday, May 9th, 2016 at 1:30 p.m. in the Commissioner's Hearing Room, District Courthouse 109 West Main, Cortez, Colorado. Interested persons may attend and give input. Review of the file or other information can be provided by the Planning Department, Room 305, District Courthouse, Cortez, Colorado. Can be accessed online at http://montezumacounty.org, Web Departments Planning, or you can contact the Planning Department at 970-565-2801 with questions. Dated this 18th day of April 2016, Kim Purcell, Clerk, Board of County Commissioners, Montezuma County, Colorado. Published in the Cortez Journal on Friday, April 23rd, 2016.
Thank you, Kim. We appreciate that. Leanne, do you have anything to add to that before we open it up to discussion with the commissioners?
No, actually the Planning Commission did review this and unanimously voted to approve the request.
They're all within 3 acres, you split them up and, okay.
All right.
Looks pretty simple.
Well, at this time, we're going to open it up to public comment. So if you would like to comment on this land use proposal, if you would come up to the podium, say your name and your address. The commissioners are all ears.
Wyatt Lancaster, County Road 22249, County Road 15, Yellow Jacket, Colorado. My concern was my uncle owns land across the road, across Road Y. Jim Naylor.
Do you have a pointer? Yeah.
I don't.
Can you show us which?
Right there.
Uh-huh.
And they had bought a water tap 10 years ago, in case they ever wanted to install it on that property.
Your uncle did that,
Yeah.
okay.
And at the time when he purchased the water tap, he was going to buy 2 of them. And the water company told him that the line wouldn't support 2 water taps, so they would only sell him 1.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, they've added lot 2 and lot 3, and now they're proposing lot 4. And I was wondering if the water line is capable of handling. They haven't ever installed their tap, but they've been paying a minimum on it.
Have they ever upgraded that line to your uncle's knowledge? Have they ever been in and gone in and upgraded or upsized that water line?
No. As far as I know, it's 2 inch.
Oh.
We did not have any opposition from the water company.
That would have been where it would
As
have come.
far as we send out agency notices to, all the agencies that are involved, they did not raise any concerns about that.
Well, he, like he said though, why wouldn't they sold him 2 taps 10 years ago?
Interesting.
They,
I can look into that for you.
Because they claimed that there was only, they would sell him
have
1.
the capacity to handle 2 times. I don't know. That sounds.
The Andersons are here. They might be able to.
Yeah, this came up when we did the subdivision the last time, and they looked at it and reviewed it, and the county commissioner said basically, there's no problem. It's been taken care of, and the water was available, and they went through this, when we did the subdivision, the last time they brought this up, Lancaster brought it up, and they were told that there was plenty of water then, so I don't know what the problem is.
Yeah, maybe,
Well, I didn't come down here at the
Well,
last meeting, it was Mike
Yeah.
and my uncle, but.
Sir, we'll just, one at a time.
Sure.
Just-
So,
that sounds like an issue between your uncle and the water company, not,
well,
I mean-
and it might be,
yeah, 'cause
I will gladly look into that for you.
right, his point was being that if later the line had to be upgraded, he didn't want it to be at his cost because he'd purchased his tap.
And that wouldn't be how it would happen. Any developer that develops and, there's not the capacity, it is their responsibility to
Okay,
do that, so.
okay,
We make sure that happens.
I guess that's my,
All right, well, thank you.
here's your
Melissa?
quarterback.
Sir, would you like to come up and and talk?
I was
You need to come to the podium if you're gonna speak. Sorry about that.
Yes, I'm Alan Story. I own Lot 3. I bought my water permit 5 years ago and hooked up, and I don't have any problem with any pressure.
you bought a water tap 5
5 years ago, so it's been since they wouldn't give him 2, and I've hooked onto it, so.
And you hooked onto the line and
Yes,
started
and
using
I've
it
been
then?
living there for over 2 years, so.
So that'd have been 5 years after, well, that'd have been 7 years then after. It's been 7 years. Your deal was 10 years ago?
Yeah, he said 2006.
Okay, so 5 years ago. Okay, 5 years after.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure what kind of system it's on, if it's on a loop system or anything
You
like
know-
that, but that will increase
And
pressure.
One thing the water company may not want to do, especially since Mr. Lancaster didn't have a subdivision, or he hadn't planned to use that water tap at the time he bought it, had he?
No.
So he may have looked, the water company may have looked at that as speculative buying in the event that they appreciated up, which water
Right.
taps have a tendency to do, and maybe they looked at that and said, this is a money-making investment, and we're not. There could have been
Well,
a
I
number
think
of reasons. but-
water taps, the reason that they charge you to sign off on a plat
Tell me about that.
is because water taps are not necessarily attached to a property.
Mhm.
You can move them.
Yeah,
So
and go from place to
maybe
place.
that has something to do with it.
All right, well, thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to make a comment about this?
Steve Anderson, I'm the one that owns that and the land around it. And I would mention that Elliot, my son, who owns Lot 2, he also purchased a water tap for that, and that was done about, 6 years ago, I guess, when we did it. So there's been 2 water taps that have been purchased on that since
And put on the line.
that time. And put on the line since that time, so.
Might have had something to do with being installed and used rather than speculated stuff, yeah.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else that would like to make a comment? All right, then we're gonna close the public comment period. We're gonna go back to the commissioners for discussion.
I don't see a whole lot of reason. I don't have any questions about it.
I would like to just add, thanking the Andersons, that they originally came in just to add on the additional acreage to Lot 2. But in talking with them in their future plans, they said, oh, well, eventually down the line, we might want to, have the proposed Lot 4 that's up there. And they're actually doing that now instead of
waiting.
piecemealing things down the line,
Makes
so.
sense.
Okay.
I would like to move that we grant the proposed amendment to Heaven Sent Acre Subdivision. Owners Steve and Debbie Anderson, Wendy Anderson, Elliot and Wendy Anderson, and Mr. Story.
I'll second.
Motion and a second to approve the Heaven Sent Acre subdivision and the AR3-9 and the two separate AR10-34 rezoning request on the property owned by Steve and Deborah Anderson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. At this time, we will close the public hearing.